Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coshun Cast. I'm Craig Coshun with James Stewart Jr., producer extraordinaire. What is up, my man?
Not too much. Just it's kind of weird talking to you at 2 p.m, but it's good.
Well, we mix it up. Certainly, we're not. We have not been up like the early worm catches the early bird catches the worms. This is why we're not up early.
Exactly. Or maybe we're sharper early.
Well, maybe that's actually a good point. So we've done shows now at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, late afternoon. Now this is like a mid-afternoon, but it is December 21st. This is theoretically the shortest day of the year. So we're making sure we get this in while there's still a little bit of daylight, because happy hour continues to etch its way a little closer to the 1 o'clock hour.
Right?
And that's kind of what gets me on the days off a little bit here when it's darker in December. But, man, it's Christmas week. Can you believe it?
I know. It feels like it kind of snuck up on us, to be honest. Like I was telling you before in a previous show, I actually have everything done. But still, it feels like it snuck up on me.
You just don't strike me as anybody that could have everything done ahead of time. It has nothing to do with the producing job.
And everything wrapped.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I wrapped this weekend. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's big news right there.
My wife set it up, so it wasn't like it was my idea, but.
So do you actually wrap the gifts though?
Oh yeah.
Are you a good rapper?
I'm the better rapper of the two of us.
Are you serious?
It's my attention to detail.
I don't rap anything. I think the greatest thing in the world ever invented was a bag.
Yes.
And tissue paper. Yeah.
Tissue paper.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty good at that. Or just, making it look like it's, something found at some bottom end of a giveaway or something like that. So
you just have to hope everything comes in a box, because then it's easy to wrap.
Yeah, for sure. So now, I'd normally ask you how your breakfast and stuff was, but like, did you have breakfast and lunch? Are you on snack time? Are you eating Christmas cookies still right now? Or what's the deal there?
My breakfast was, I don't know. What did I have? I had potatoes, like some fried potatoes for breakfast.
Yeah. All right.
And that's it. That's all I've eaten today.
Wow.
And a couple cookies.
What are you on a diet this week?
No, I was busy. I just got busy and wasn't paying attention.
All right. Well, we're hoping to have Tim Dillard on. We've got a driver out to get him right now, but they may have gotten lost through maps. But
it looks like he just popped up in the queue.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Tim Dillard, our good friend,
right on time,
is ready and raring to go. Are you serious? Well, you're in control of bringing it. Wait a minute. Who's that man in the car?
Yeah, I got all these little kids running around and they stole my headphones. So I was like, I got to track these down. I did it for a podcast. So I finally grabbed one of them. I'm here. Yay.
So what's you doing in the car? Are you playing chauffeur right now, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm at my in-laws. So I thought this may be the safest place for me to go now. I'm kidding. I hope they don't listen.
Well, from what we can tell, nobody listens, so this is a really safe show, Tim.
Just say whatever you want.
How you been, my man? It's good to see you. We haven't seen each other since the end of baseball, all three of us together.
I know. I only see you post on Facebook.
Well, and I don't do that very often. But I saw today you put an O&H Kringle on your social media post.
Yeah, I'm in Cleveland, Mississippi right now, and I showed up yesterday, and I walk into the kitchen, and there's a Kringle from Racine, Wisconsin. I was like, where'd this come from? And they're like, oh, someone sent it to us. I was like, well, let's open that bad boy up so I can eat all of it. And I did.
What flavor?
It's the best.
What flavor?
It was just almond. Yeah, just almond, but like for me, the consistency is there. A lot of times, if you get like the strawberry shortcake one, like it can get really outrageous. You know, you don't get the full consistency of what you're doing. So for me, The perfect one is the almond. I thought this was a Kringle podcast.
Well, it might be if we bring in Vinny Vertino, that's for sure.
Yeah, right.
Indeed. So what you been up to? Are you getting like off-season physically prepped for a show, or are you getting off-season physically prepped just in case there's another comeback out there?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see. I mean, I haven't played catch or worked out or anything. I haven't accomplished anything so far. I don't really know what's coming up next. I'm hoping that there's not going to be like a strike or something, because that would be a huge bummer. But if there is, yes, I'll be coming out of retirement as a player. I'll just invite myself to minor league spring training and see what happens there. But yeah, I don't know. I've just kind of just been keeping busy, piddling around, and just what's the old phrase? Just stare out the window and wait for spring training.
Is that the old phrase?
Yeah, I think so. Forgot who said that.
Usually in the off season, James and I stared at NBA court and wait for baseball to start after that.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
That's right. You don't have an off season. Your seasons just collide.
No, we keep rolling, man, don't we, James? And now we're doing this podcast together.
It's like we can't get enough of each other.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that.
Clearly not in the same room right now. So there's only so much we can take of each other. Yeah.
So let me ask you this to get things rolling a little bit here. You said strike. There is a lockout going right now, obviously, and we keep hearing that both sides between management and players are so far apart. They're probably not even going to talk again until sometime in January. They understand that there's a deadline of whatever sorts at some point by mid-February to keep this all on track. Are you worried at all about the 2022 season in any capacity?
It would be a huge loss for Major League Baseball and the players to have any sort of lapse in playing. I mean, it would be, especially coming off to 2020. I mean, baseball finally comes roaring back. Halfway through the seasons, people get full capacity at their respected stadiums, and then suddenly it's like 2022 hits, and for no reason, not like an outside pandemic thing, but just the fact that they can't get along, that would be a huge letdown for the sport. So I don't think they would let that happen. But like I said, worst case scenario, if I don't have a broadcasting job, Craig, I'm coming out of retirement to throw. That I will say. My wife rolled her eyes when I told her that. Actually, she didn't roll her eyes. She stone faced me. Like there was no emotion. Honey, I'm thinking about picking up the baseball again. And if there's a strike, and she was just like, I thought she had passed out or something. She was just staring at me. But I don't know. That's actually my plan. I was going to keep that quiet, but I'll throw it out there on your show right now.
So with a strike now, the other guys might be relaxing. You're starting your work then, huh?
Well, I actually had to do some research just to be sure, because I didn't want to be a guy that's, former major leaguer that crosses that picket line thing. But I technically, if you didn't play in the big leagues last year or you're not in a 40-man roster, I don't think you would qualify. At the same time, in the minor leagues are going to play. And so if I can't travel to Wisconsin and work as a broadcaster, I'm going to stay home in Nashville and drive 20 minutes to the stadium, and hopefully I can get a job there pitching, because you start looking at the 40-man guys. There's 26 in the big leagues. You got about 14 others that are usually 8 to 10 of those are in AAA. So they're going to be shorthanded really in AAA. And maybe I can slide in there. I know enough people. And my beard's ready, obviously.
Do they have a pregame show they do down there, or can we start that up then too?
Exactly. We'll put sounds on a bigger scale. We'll just bring the whole crew down there.
Well, you're in Mississippi right now, and Hunter Renfroe was acquired by the Brewers via trade with Boston. And I was just looking up his stuff and saw he went to Mississippi State. He's going to be new to Milwaukee. You're from that area as well, Tim. Can you? All right, give us your best of what you know about Hunter Renfroe and what a surprising upgrade that's going to be for the Brewer outfield.
I mean, that guy crushes. He did some stuff. I forgot what team he was with in AAA in the PCL, but he led At the time that we played him, when we were in Colorado Springs, he was leading in every single category on the planet Earth for offensive categories. Did he play with Brandon Woodruff by chance? Were they both at state together?
You know, that I didn't look up, but we can look that up. We'll get our research
Maybe
team.
we'll get somebody. yeah. We'll get a helicopter and we'll figure that out. No, yeah, I actually was just at my parents' house, and they live about 5 minutes from Woodruff. So I was gonna stop by and see if I could, take a picture with him. But I think he was out of town. He might be in Starkville, Mississippi right now. He didn't hit me back. But no, one thing you can say about these Mississippi boys, you look like a Lance Lynn. They're workhorses. Like they're Clydesdales. You want them out there because they refuse to lose. They want to go out there and make an impact. I think that's what you're going to get out of a Hunter Renfroe. Just a guy that confident in his craft and can do damage. And when you have a guy like that at any moment can do damage, it's in a pitcher's mind. So good for the Brewers to be like, we want to score some runs. We want to just have solidify. And obviously what they're doing now, especially getting Yelich years ago, they take what they did at one ballpark and they overlap it with American Family Field to see what those projected numbers could be. So that's a factor. They have to sit there and go, his production's good that he did in 2021, it's going to be higher in 2022 if he does the exact same thing, regardless because of the ballpark he plays in and the other ballparks he's going to be playing in around the National League and the National League Central.
Yeah, I think that was a big coup, and on David Stern's part, and I just love the fact, and we've talked about this 100 times, but people always they'll ask you, they'll ask me, they'll have talks with James as well about, well, what do you think the moves are going to be? Who do you think they're going to acquire? This, and that, and I always tell people the guy's going to be David Stearns is going to pull a surprise off, and that was definitely a surprise. The fact that the outfield could be upgraded that way, and he was able to swing some money around. But the other one is this that I have is the Brewer pitching depth rich enough to trade anybody away, Tim, or do you keep everybody? And this is a clear indication now with Renfroe, the addition of him, that this team is going for it right now. You keep who you have intact, from starters to middle relievers to closers here right now in this core pitching staff. You keep them together at least one more year.
There'd be no reason to trade them away. I mean, do whatever you can. You got to keep those guys. I think who knows how long you could, or when's the next time you could have a pitching staff like that, and to start taking pieces out of the mix and giving them to other teams would be a crime because they have one of the most electric pitching staffs, starting and relieving in all of baseball. And let's be honest, defense, pitching, that wins ball games. And that's how the Brewers win. They keep the other team off the board, and hopefully they can scrape some runs across. Well, I think David Stearns is trying to figure out a way to see how many people he can put in the lineup to help score runs. Obviously, getting a new hitting coach, like they want an approach where we can get a few runs across the board, and obviously they're going to hold them at bay with that pitching staff. And we saw the stats, right? We get the stat sheet in the press box every time, Craig, where it says whatever the record is when they score four runs or more. It was outrageous. So they're looking for a way. Can we put it together where we can score 3 to 4 runs a game, knowing that they have potential Cy Young Award and Cy Young Award winners in that rotation? Relief man of the year in the bullpen, like that kind of stuff is huge. And plus, you're getting Devin Williams back, so I don't think they should trade anybody away on that pitching staff right now. At least not those core, probably 6 or 7 guys they have.
How hard is it going to be to keep all those guys together? They're stacking awards, which means they're going to be expensive. Like, how hard is it going to be to keep all those guys?
I mean, you look at the A's when they had Hudson, Zito, Mulder. They had a couple of magic little years, and everyone had a career year, and then suddenly they're all very expensive. Of course, the Brewers aren't the A's, but the A's are like, we want to do this on a budget, so they just kind of uploaded and got rid of, who they thought, they could. But the Brewers, realistically, I don't think any team can keep that many good players on. I mean, you just can't. There's no way. There's not enough money. The Yankees maybe have enough money, but it's not feasible. And for a player too, you look at CC Sabathia. He really wanted to stay in Milwaukee after the 2008 season. He said that in public, said that to teammates. But when you're going up against, a contract that adds more years and $90 million or whatever it was, outrageous, like, you kind of have to go that route. So feasible, I don't think they're going to keep him as long as they can until it gets outrageous.
That's kind of what I meant, though. How long do they keep these guys? And just to be able to take a pitcher or two and to upgrade somewhere else, I guess, on your major league roster, is it the initial point where they're not going to let these guys get to a point where they're just free agents and they're going to go away on their own either. They're going to do their best to get something back. But there's not like you said, Timmer, there's not a rush to do this, and it's not going to be in one fell swoop either. This team, pitching wise, even if they do this one at a time to whatever their affordability is, should still be as strong as any staff in the league here for a few years to come. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and you can restructure contracts. You can start looking like, hey, we have you locked in, up for a year or two. They could go to Freddie Peralta and be like, you've exceeded our expectations. You can redo that kind of stuff. But I don't foresee them trying to do anything outside of their means if they can help it. But I think they're going to definitely err on the side of keeping the players as happy as possible.
So what you got now, let's just go over to the TV side talk here a little bit. You're no longer a rookie. So you can't come to the ballpark next year and you can't say whatever you want because I gave you a hall pass like 162 games for that.
Oh,
whoop.
Tim just dropped out.
Did he disappear?
You were about to hit him with a hard question, so he got out of here. Oh, no, not my TV. You got to go.
It was like, what do you mean I'm not a rookie and I can't say what I want anymore? I'll tell you what, though, I got to give you a quick back. James knows this, but the people who are watching and listening, he'd always say stuff off camera, I'd like to say this about this player, this team, or whatever. And he goes, "Is that okay?" And I go, "Tim, you can say whatever you want. Just do whatever you want." And he'd laugh and he'd go, "Really?" And he'd go, "No." But that's kind of how we settled things up. It was me being the dad version of that, having a young kid on the show. So, but I was just gonna kid around with him, and we don't know if he's going to be coming back or not. Maybe he put his car in drive and left. I don't know.
Just got out of here. Yeah. No, it looks like he's trying to work his way back in, but having some mic issues, it looks like.
All right. Well, we're going to get our technical staff to figure that out. You do have a technical staff, don't you, James?
Yep. Let me go get him.
That's on the budget? Well, the great thing about this show is we're live, and then of course this gets posted, but it gets posted like a live show, so we're gonna have to live with it. These are the chances, man. I told you it should just be me and you and nobody else ever, and we're gonna be safe. So.
Exactly.
All right, so he's trying to work his way back. We're gonna get some more stories, hopefully, with Tim in a moment or two here. But a couple of the other things we discussed on our show, of course. Packer football. We talked a little Brewers here already. Bucks basketball. Bucks right now in a tough spot because they've gone through a bunch of injuries, bunch of players on health and safety protocol list here right now, James, and they hit a skid because of that. They've been decimated like many other teams here, and I think the report we're getting today on December 21st is there's no new players on that health and protocol list. And the team feels like it's turned a corner to get healthier. Middleton practiced today. So hopefully those are good signs, right?
And the good thing is Middleton's not out for health and safety, but I think it's just something that we're going to have to deal with this year. I mean, we haven't been bitten by it yet up until this point, but obviously, we saw a bunch of the Bulls out, saw a bunch of Nets out. So I think it's just going to be something that we're going to have to deal with, and you just got to hope that it doesn't hit you at the wrong time. There's not much we can do about it because I don't necessarily – I think it would have to be bad for them to shut down the league again.
Well, it would, and I think look, we're into season 3 of this, which is hard for me to really wrap around my head because it's only been a year and a half, a little over a year and a half since this all started back in the spring of 2020. But you think about it, we've had that part of the season suspended. Then we had the bubble at the end of 2020. And then at the very end of 2020 in December, a year ago at this time, we started up the 72 game regular season that concluded in July, late July, with the Bucks winning the championship. And then they had the short off season, and here we are into the next season. So a lot's really happened in sports, and I think especially for the NBA here right now, because they didn't get a true off season like the three other team sports did,
right?
And so I don't know, they're in a tough spot here right now. There's no doubt. There's a lot of games that have been canceled and whatnot, but we hope we can reel this in, and it's not going to be any worse. So.
Yeah.
Whose wheel is spinning right there? Is that
looks
Dillard's?
Like it's not back yet.
Hey, Tim, take 2 left turns and a right, and then go back into that parking stall you were in about 20 minutes ago. There he is.
Unbelievable. No, I told you I was in Mississippi. There's tough spots where I'm at.
What do you have, 2G down there?
Yeah. I got my 3GS phone. It should be working.
Well, we're on 5G now, so.
No, I apologize. One point you can make when you're talking about all these protocols and stuff is that things are going to get better just because people have a better idea of what's coming next. I think there's a certain level of it will get back to normal. Just listening to you guys talking about what the NBA, talking about the short season and things like that. For protocols, they're going to try to keep catching up and getting better. But for players, if you play a long time and then have a short off season, that's really tough to make a good turnaround. But the Bucks have done a great job doing that. But overall, I don't see them I don't foresee them shutting down the league. That seems like a really big stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I tell people it's the same thing. Do you think restaurants want to close down right now? Do you think bars want to close down right now? Do you think businesses want to tell their people to go back home right now? I mean, do you want to send kids back home from school right now? None of that. Nobody wants to do any of that stuff right now.
Yep.
So, all right, pal. Now, I was just getting into the question back into broadcasting. So please keep your car in park this time and don't drive away.
Sorry. No, you were talking about I exceeded my rookie limits as a broadcaster. I didn't know
you did. You've exceeded your rookie limits.
Yeah.
So now you're actually going to get paid.
Welcome to arbitration.
Wow. They never told me I'd get paid.
So I want to know as you look back, because every time I talk to you ball players and you reflect a little bit on portions of your career, your answers are always, well, I'm going to have to wait till I get to the off season and think about that. All right. So you've been to the off season. How do you think it went your first year? How was day 1 versus day 80 versus the end of the season when things were all done? What'd you think? How'd you do?
Yeah, I think early on it was tough just because I didn't have as many reps, and you would tell me that too. You said once you get your reps under your belt, it's going to get easier, and it did. And honestly, going around and sleeping on people's couches and talking to people on the concourse and things like that, like they were giving me instant feedback. They were like, "Hey, I really like what you did here. I didn't really understand that, or you should do more of this." So that's really the whole season for me was just to try to get a heartbeat for what people want from us. What do they want to hear from us? And I know early on, I really tried to go more of the analytical type stuff, tried to throw a lot of stats out there, try to throw some complicated so I look smart, but we both.
Well, here we go again. Oh, well, it was a good answer while it lasted, right?
Yeah, we can edit that. There's plenty to edit there.
There you go. Tim was on the show briefly.
Yeah.
Again, he put his car in drive. I just know he did. It's a nervous habit for him. So anyway, so he did a great job with us, and we don't know if we're going to get him back here or not, but we certainly do appreciate his time Tim, if you got things to do, go do them if you can still hear us. And we're in good shape here this afternoon. That's for sure. We'll get Tim back on when we can actually, our budget will allow us soon enough to set up maybe a portable studio for him. And he's back. He's back.
Well, it says I have bars and stuff. Like I have 3 bars on LTE, which I think is good. I'm not sure. I don't know if my phone's overheating because I'm using it too much. I don't know.
I have three bars right down the street I could go to too, by the way.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm doing. Every time it logs me out, I just go right over here
to get a
bar.
drink.
What beer do you miss in Wisconsin that you can't have right now, by the way?
Oh man.
Let's get down to brass tacks here.
Yeah, let's talk about what people want to hear. Fantasy Factory is fantastic. Obviously Spotted Cow, but I'm not going to lie. I bootlegged a lot of Spotted Cow at the end of the season and brought that home. Still got a little bit of that, but the Fantasy Factory, right where you live, Madison, I mean, that is just exceptional. And I gave it to a few friends, and they were like, this is awesome. And I regretted giving them some. I should have kept it for myself. But, yeah, that's what I miss. I can't wait to get back.
That'd be fun, man. And I'd you can bootleg beer over borders. You just can't sell it, right? I mean, I think that's kind of what it is right now with certain.
I got to make a living. I got to make a living, man. They haven't brought me in on the Bucks broadcast yet, so I got to have a side gig. Don't tell anybody. Yeah.
So are we gonna do the sleepovers again next year, or what have we decided on that?
Oh man, I don't know. My wife says no. She's really, and being honest, like hopefully we get a raise, so I don't have to do that. I can actually get an apartment that has like a bed and a shower, stuff like that. But we're gonna make it work. Whatever it looks like, we'll do the best to make it work. And you know what? It was fun. It got really hard towards the end because my back was like, have you been sleeping on couches and futons for 6 months? And but I don't know. We'll wait and see. I haven't really heard anything from Valley's end as much, the Brewers end. I know there's a lot of different pieces that have to be put in play, but hopefully I'm one of those pieces, and hopefully that piece gets more expensive.
How many nights did you actually sleep on a couch? Do you know?
Oh, well, so all of June, my family was here, so we did an Airbnb. So I stayed maybe 3 nights or 4 nights in a hotel completely. So however many days I was there, I stayed with people. It wasn't a couch every time. I know that gets misleading, but I probably slept on 8 to 10 couches. I didn't get to shoot a video on all of them. There was a few times that there were outside circumstances that prevented me from filming the couch and my surroundings. But I did my best.
No, wait a second now. What would have prevented you from videotaping where you were? That's really going to be the key question of the Coshun Cast here today.
Yeah. No, so there's I don't know, for whatever reason, one of them, 2 of them wouldn't let me film. They just did, just as a courtesy, like, well, we don't really want our house filmed and stuff like that. So I get that. But there's also one that's like, I just didn't have time. My car broke down. There was a whole big thing. My alternator, first my battery. It broke down at the field. I was at the field actually, and had to get a guy to bring me a battery. And then he got my car working, but it was my alternator, and it died right on, I think it was July 4th, maybe something like that. It was during holiday, right around the holiday. So like nothing was open. So anyway, that was a tough one.
How much fun are you having? Oh, just kidding.
He's having car problems again. Yeah. I swear, if he comes back in, this is going to be a record for how many times anybody rejoined a broadcast at this point. But if anybody could hold a record, it's going to be Tim. I think he's dropped out 3 times, right, and come back.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah. So that's actually, that would be, I think you and I should just sit here and stare at our screens until he comes back.
Just sit here silently.
I think it's dropping me. Yeah,
my man is back for the 4th time.
I feel like, like Elvis. I leave the building, come back. No, I feel like it's dropping me. It's like it's logging me out or something. I don't know. I don't have a very conducive phone for this, but if you catch me at home, I have a real computer and like a headset. The audio and video will be better. I got Wi-Fi there. It's a big deal.
Wi-Fi
I apologize.
That's all right. We'll have to get you back on again.
Hey, pal, why don't we do this? We'll talk until you drop out, or we can just say, you know what? You've come back 4 times. You're a trooper, and we will get you next time on real Wi-Fi and a real headset. How's that sound?
Don't tease your listeners and viewers, though. I mean, that's.
You can go finish your Kringle.
Hey, Craig, I'm gonna be honest. That Kringle was gone before I posted that photo on social media. I was holding up a wrapper that once held.
Well, kind of like when we did the pocket square, and you went and got a brat wrapper and used that as your pocket square. I mean, that's what you do with wrappers, man. You're gonna have to save that Kringle for a pocket square next spring.
Well, so I had to wear a suit. I actually went to. I was a guest on MLB Network, and I had to wear a suit, and I reached into my pocket for the pocket square area, and that bratwurst wrapper was still in there. The dry cleaner never took it out. I was like, hopefully I didn't smell. People, damn, please. I smell like.
Why do you think kraut is sour?
Yeah.
Anybody can have a real pocket square. Pocket square on a budget. Good times, man. If nothing else, we have so many stories from this past season. I mean, making memories. It's around every corner. Everything I see reminds me of something from the season, and I can't wait to get back because I know we're going to be able to do it again. We're going to have a great time.
Well, I still have some of the pins. Occasionally, they fall off my backpack when I go over to Bucks games and stuff. Or I think actually James takes them off when I'm not looking and brings him home. I gotta steal them. I think James has actually made money off of the buttons that you made for us, by the way.
I was gonna hold one up, but I must have sold them.
Oh, that's all right.
God, we had a blast though, man. Your creativity was so much fun. We had the buttons, and then of course all kinds of other stuff. But the skits were a blast, and I miss those. Like at this time of year, sometimes I go to games and I'm like, too bad Dillard's not here doing a Bucks game with me, because we could use a skit right now with 7 players out of the lineup. Something to entertain us here a little bit. Are you like slowly plotting some things out for 2022 on the back burner?
Yeah, I do. I'm always writing down ideas. That's pretty much what my phone is full of. That's why I don't have any space in my phone. I need a new phone. Let's just be honest. But yeah, so I'm going to fantasy camp in Arizona for Brewers fantasy camp, Bill Schroeder, all that stuff. And he wants me to do a video. So I'm going to take all the videos that you and I did, all the videos we did at the studio, and all the videos I did with Dario, and I'm going to compile them into like a full-on like highlight reel. And that's what I'm going to do for one of the nights, is just kind of show all the fun that we had. And I love doing that stuff. I've been looking through it, editing it, and I'm just like, I can't believe we did that. That's what I keep saying. I'm like, I can't believe we did that. I don't remember all the stuff that we did, but looking back through, I'm like, I mean, the sky's the limit for next year. Hopefully we have a bigger budget. I'll have more props.
Oh, we're going to have a bigger budget. That's it's definitely
yeah.
There's no doubt. Oh man, it was great having Tim join us.
Bye, Tim.
All right, Timmer, if you can hear us, you don't have to call back in. So, four's the charm. Four means you've rounded the bases. So yeah. All right, we're gonna say officially goodbye to Tim Dillard here right now. And the next time that we're gonna get him on, we're gonna make sure that we got real Wi-Fi. He's back at home. It's holiday week. We just figured, you know what, Tim, you want to join us? He's like, hey, I'm gonna be in Mississippi. And he's like, but I'll block an hour out. So we've done that. We blocked the hour out. What are you doing? You came back. Hey, by the way, can you hear me the whole time?
I can still hear you. I can. I know exactly what y'all are saying. I don't know what it is. It's just logging me out. I don't know why. I do apologize. It's completely unprofessional, and I'm very embarrassed, actually. I'm trying not to ruin the show.
Actually, you're making the show right now.
Yeah.
We in fact, I think the next time we have guests, we may intentionally
Just kick
cut them
them out.
off and bring them back
Yeah. I feel like
because
that's
only you
what's
can drop
happening
off
here.
like that.
Well, I got my kid standing on the roof of my car holding up this little antenna, and I think he left.
Oh man, I tell you, we were talking about the skits, and I know you're going to put them together for the fantasy crew and all that coming up in January. You lighten up our show a lot, and you brought me out of my shell a little bit, and I do appreciate that. I don't know if anybody else does, but I do. So it was a lot of fun. So if you need anybody else, doing the air guitar or being your sidekick on the skits and lip syncing, I mean those were all a lot of fun.
Well, I think what people don't know is just how we don't have a lot of downtime. What we're doing, so the stuff that we do it very quick. We plan it out just enough to get it done, and then we edit it and we do our show. And at the end of the day, we don't really talk about the show that much. We talk about everything leading up to it. We talk about the weird stuff that happened. Like, remember that gust of wind that blew over like everything, and you almost got destroyed by that huge partition between us? Like, that's the crazy stuff that we talk about. The stuff when everything goes wrong or everything goes crazy. Like, that's the fun stuff. If everything goes off without a hitch, it's like, it's kind of boring.
I just remember my
producer. I disagree. I disagree with that a lot as the producer.
Sorry,
I really like when everything goes according to
that's a good
plan.
point.
No, James blocks everything out
that's my bad.
and puts everything on the script for Tim and I and everybody. And Tim and I are the first people not to look at that once the show begins.
What's the first thing that Craig says to me?
Yeah.
As we're counting down to go on the air, did you get my changes? No, we did not get your changes. Do whatever you want, Craig.
I always, that's what I say. I'm like, Craig, what should we do right here? Should I say this? And he's like, do whatever you want. It's what? 3, 2, 1, go. I'm like, what? That's not advice. Do whatever you want. But I did. I used that though.
Well, see, but I don't know if you're able to do that next year now because you're going to be a veteran to TV broadcasting. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel the pressure. I feel the pressure already. It's big time. So
I just wanted to make sure
I don't know.
I
I'm
put the
trying to
pressure
figure
on
out.
you, at this time of year.
It's a year-round pressure.
I'll be prepared. I'll be more prepared. Yeah.
All right, James, what do you
I'm
got
good to
for
go. I'll
our
get a
guy
haircut.
before we let him go?
Not too much. It's good to see you again, man. And we'll talk again on better Wi-Fi. Hopefully see you soon.
Yeah.
We'll do a big
I'll be
promotion for
It's like,
2022, and in January, we'll get this lockout out of the way, and we'll have all kinds of. You can tell us about your experience at fantasy camp. We'll catch up with you after all that.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Yeah, perfect. And I may be going to spring training too. There's been talks of that. I don't know if it's secret or if I'm supposed to say anything, but I may be able to go there and do some stuff. So I don't know. I'm just excited for baseball. I think it's going to be there. I don't think they're going to try to. Have some sort of strike or anything like that. I think they're going to try to make something happen. So because we need it. We need baseball. I need baseball. I know there's fans out there that want it and need it. So hopefully it'll be there for us. I think it will be.
I think more than anything, your wife needs you to have baseball get you out of the house, my man.
My wife needs. You sound like her since I've been home. She said that several times. She's
Well, I kind of felt like your wife for the last 6 months during the season. So
babysitting me for sure.
Timmer, you be well. Merry Christmas. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you before you drop out again. What's the big Christmas tradition in the Dillard family? What do you got? What do you got to look forward to? Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Like, what's your one thing you look forward to?
One thing I look forward to is just watching Christmas Vacation as many times as possible. Maybe watch some Elf. I love Christmas movies. There's so many good Christmas movies.
Yeah.
You almost forget throughout the year, and that's what we do, because some of the places we go, we're like, it's rainy or it's too cold. It's like, we'll just sit around and watch a movie, and everyone loves that, and everybody laughs before the jokes even happen, and I love that. And then as soon as it sober, we talk about the jokes that we just saw from a movie that's 30 years old. I don't know why, but it's awesome. It's fun, but it's the food. The tradition is the food. I throw caution to the wind. As soon as Christmas happens, I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. By the time Christmas is over, they're rolling me. They're rolling me back home. That's that's real. I'm just being real. Sausage balls, man.
I love it, man. I love it. Have fun. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thanks for being on 5 times here today.
Yeah. It looks like y'all been on for 40 minutes, but I've only been on for like 7. So that's nothing for me. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, you're welcome.
Used to be good edits for James.
Merry Christmas, guys.
All right, pal. Take care.
Yeah, you have to do a lot of editing.
Can't wait.
See you, Dilly. All right, that's Tim Dillard, man. What an adventure that was. I mean,
that was an adventure. That's the best way to put it. Adventure.
It was, and that's what you go through, right?
Yeah, that's doing it live.
How does this rank for some of your live shows that you've done that maybe haven't gone as scripted?
If I were in the truck right now, I would be going insane. But we're good. I'm at home. Everything worked out. James, we don't have time constraints.
You've got my calm, quiet voice to keep you intact, right?
Yeah, but it's like the calmer your voice is, the more worried I am, because that means that it's going crazy back there.
It's like that windstorm last week that came blowing up through Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I kept telling people this is not going to end well. This is just not. It shouldn't be 70 degrees and like 70-mile-an-hour winds in December. But thankfully, it wasn't all that bad. So
yeah.
All right. So now we've talked a lot of baseball. We started to talk a little bit about the Bucks. They're hoping to get healthy this week. They've got the Christmas Day game slated against Boston on Saturday and Christmas afternoon. Packers are getting ready for their next game as well. Eked out a win against Baltimore. I got to tell you, that fourth quarter, I mean, it just shouldn't have happened. It just both sides of the ball played so bad, James, that I was like, they were almost lucky that the number 2 quarterback made his first mistake. And I was trying to force that ball to win it for the 2-point conversion.
And I was thinking to myself, like, is this Tyler Huntley or Lamar? Because he's running all over the place. He looked fast. Yeah, I mean, they got the win, so you walk away happy. But it was a frustrating one. It definitely felt like one of those games where you could feel the comeback the entire time. Like, it was just, you just knew it wasn't going to end well. But made the play when they needed to. Kind of a bad pass, but hey, we'll take it.
Well, the thing about it too is they're even more so in the driver's seat now because Arizona lost. So they basically have a 2-game lead over them, even though the standings don't show it that way because the Packers beat them head to head if they ended up in a tie. But I don't see the Packers losing any of these final 3 games. Do you?
I mean, there's no reason to. They're playing when they're playing well, obviously outside of that fourth quarter, but they look sharp. The offense, they've got the weapons. MVS is coming back to life. There's really no reason to lose.
No, I don't think so either. And we have a comment on our live stream from Jim. He said, "Do you see Huntley being trade bait this offseason?" Absolutely. I mean, there's no reason for Baltimore to. I mean, this is kind of where the Packers were for a long time with Brett Favre as their quarterback. They draft quarterbacks and end up trading them away. There was probably at least 3, maybe 4 along that 17-year career that the Packers were able to draft quarterbacks, and they were a backup for a little bit under Favre and trade him away and whatnot. So I definitely see that. He should be playing every Sunday, don't you?
I mean, he looked too athletic and threw the ball. He threw a good ball. So he looks too good to be kind of stuck behind Lamar because he's not obviously going to surpass him. But for me, it's a good – I would think it's a good spot to be in. You got a couple chances to show what he's got. You almost almost beat the Packers. Like, what more could you really ask for the spot start? They had a comeback win too with him.
Yep.
So yeah, he's shown to show up in big moments too. So you would think he'd have to be, because there'd be no reason to hold on to him.
I would agree for sure. So, but that's Baltimore's issue. The Packers' issue is just keep it rolling here and hopefully get a little bit healthier with some guys here before we wrap it up in the regular season and then start the playoffs for sure. So, all right, Christmas is coming up. What's before we wrap it up? Is it Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? What's the bigger of the two for you and your family?
Christmas Day. Yeah, Christmas Eve is usually pretty chill. Usually open one gift.
Gotcha.
And then get ready for the 6 a.m. wake up to open gifts.
Ooh, the good old days. I remember that.
Because it's not like they can come down, see the gifts, and wait. There's no chance of that. So when they wake up, I wake up.
Yeah.
Well, my wife wakes up, and then I wake up a little bit later.
Well, good for you guys, man. That when the kids are young, that's when Christmas is as special as it gets. That's for sure. A lot of magic, indeed. So we had that in our house for a long time, and we hope everybody listening and watching will have that same magic in their own form coming up here in a few days. And we thank Tim Dillard for joining us today. We're going to take the rest of the week off, Christmas holiday pay by the company, and we appreciate the company coming through there. We got the big holiday party we're going to as well. So we got a lot to squeeze in before you open presents on Christmas Day. So.
Yep, just enjoy the holiday, and hope everyone has a good time with their family, all that good stuff.
Cool beans. All right, well, thanks for watching this edition of Coshun Cast. I'm Craig Coshun, along with James Stewart. Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you next week.